Good morning, everybody. It's Andrea Gribble here with hashtag Social School for EDU, here with some important news. And so if you could just jot in the comments down below where you're tuning in from, that would be great. We serve schools kind of all over. This is a really big announcement. I have been doing social media for schools for the past 4 years. And of course, there's been a lot of changes that Facebook has made. But this announcement in regards to pages and showing up in the news feed is one of the biggest announcements that I've been a part of. Michael Stelzner runs Social Media Examiner. I listen to his podcasts, watch his content, but it was actually a friend of mine, Melissa Emler, who is big in the social media world with schools as well, that said, hey, what does this mean for our schools? And I listened to it and I'm like, oh my gosh, I got to start thinking through how are we going to be able to make some changes to make sure that our school content is seen. And as always at Social School for EDU, we are here to learn. We serve schools. We've done over 100,000 posts on Facebook over the last 4 years. So we've learned a ton. I try to take what I've learned and then share it with you. So in a nutshell, Facebook realizes that there is a lot of junk out there. They are running out of space in the news feed. Now, your first inclination might be they just want our money. They want us to use Facebook ads. Maybe Facebook ads should be part of your strategy for your school, but they want to give authentic information, entertainment, engagement that people want to see. So it's just, they want more engagement, interaction with people, not necessarily pages. Because I'm not sure, for you, just think of how you consume Facebook. If all you're seeing is things from a, that you don't really care about from a business, you get turned off to Facebook. And some people, they're saying, are getting turned off to Facebook because it's getting so overcrowded. So the announcement, which I shared last night, the video from Michael Stelzner, he did a great job of breaking down kind of line by line. But yes, they're running out of space in the news feed. There's way too much junk. They want more interaction. They admitted they are going to show less content from publishers and businesses. You have probably already seen, I don't know with your school, and again, once I get through this, I'm breaking down the 5 things that your school needs to do. I even got my whiteboard today, so I will be breaking those 5 things down, but I got to set this up. They will be showing less content from publishers and businesses. You have probably already seen a decrease. If you watch your reach for your school, we have noticed just recently it's upticked a little bit since the beginning of the year. But the last 3 months of 2017, I would say that our reach for our schools was half of what it had been in previous 2017. Schools where we were reaching 8,000 a week on Facebook, we were now reaching about 4,000. A post that usually was reaching about 1,000 people when we had, 1,500 fans. Now that same type of post was only reaching 500 people. So I think Facebook has already been playing around with this a little bit, but it's real. It's going to happen. And this announcement says it. They had stated you may see a decrease, which means you will see a decrease in reach on your Facebook posts. You will see it. In past announcements, they say, hey, some pages may see an increase, some may see a decrease. No, they're just saying you may see a decrease. And as Heidi Feller, our CIO, always states, you can break Facebook, okay? If you are posting stuff that people don't care about, and you're posting 8, 10, Michael says 30 times a day, which is we always suggest between 2 to 5 times a day. But if you're posting more than that, and even if you're posting that and it's not engaging material, not only is that content not going to be seen, but it is going to hurt all of your content from being seen. So it is going to negatively impact the stories that you want to share about your school with everybody else. And so that is a major, major announcement. When I go through these 5 things, this announcement is going to change the way we serve our schools. It's going to change the way that I help coach and train other schools to use Facebook. I mean, we just did a strategy session with an awesome school down in South Milwaukee on Wednesday, and this change is already going to change some of the advice we had given. So that's really important. So number one, and I was not a teacher, so this is not going to be great penmanship, but the key is engagement. What is engagement? Engagement is when people like, comment, and share your posts. If you are not sharing engaging material that makes your community want to hit the like button or comment on it, or best of all, share it, you are not going to be seen. Your content is going to get downgraded and your entire page is going to be impacted. I shared a few weeks ago another tip that I had gotten from Social Media Examiner, which is, in this Facebook algorithm, if you were to assign points, a like, when somebody likes something or loves something, it's worth 1 point. But if you grab, if you get somebody to comment on it, it's worth 7 points. And if you get somebody to share it, it's worth 14 points. 14 times more powerful than just a like is a share. That is important. The way we write our posts, the photos that we're sharing, the videos that we're sharing, invoking emotion, invoking people to make a response. That is going to be key for your school. The other thing that they have noted is that when you get people interacting within your own post, that is key. That is really going to be a positive, because it's not just you interacting, it's going to actually be community members or followers of your page. Linda asked a good question, and certainly if you have questions, I may not get to them all in this recording, but you can ask them and I'll get back to you afterwards. If comments are hidden, do they still count? Not exactly sure on how Facebook algorithm counts that. But if they interact with each other, that's really important. So we sometimes, controversial things, we've got bond or referendum things coming up and people can kind of go back and forth. Other things that are fun for us are like Throwback Thursday pictures. Those sometimes get people talking about, oh my gosh, I remember that, or who is that person? Can you remember who? So that interaction is actually going to help. So a lot of the suggestions that we've given in regards to features, staff features, student features, those do really well with driving engagement. So those things you're going to want to continue to do. In one of my other tips, I'm going to talk about a little bit about some of the posts that we've found that haven't engaged well. So the number one thing that you need to be after with your school's page is engagement. Second thing, this hasn't changed at all. Video. If you are not using video on your Facebook page, you are losing out. We can use Facebook Live like this, which I was a little bit of, nervous about today because I was using my blackboard or my whiteboard. But you can use live video, you can use recorded video, you could use an awesome no school today video like we had with one of our schools yesterday, which was incredible in Cumberland, Wisconsin. If you didn't see it, AJ McLean from the Backstreet Boys opened it up. Posts with famous people are obviously going to do better, right? And so it also had some really bad singing and some questionable dancing. But video is key. I am still suggesting, and Jason, you talked about disabling comments as something not to do after this announcement. Definitely you don't want to disable comments. I think sometimes Linda was talking about hiding comments. If there was something that was outside your commenting guideline, then you would maybe hide that comment. But you definitely don't want to hide comments. You want people to engage. Social media is social. Video drives 6 times more interaction. And video is preferred by Facebook. So if you notice in your own Facebook feed how many videos you're being delivered into your news feed, for me right now, it's about 2 out of 3 posts are videos. 2 out of 3 posts for me are videos. That is called a clue in that Facebook is, giving advantage and priority to video. You need to use it for your school. I'm seeing at least once a week Could be Facebook Live. It could be short recorded videos. It could be an obstacle course in your science room. Greg Turchetta from Florida did a little Q&A about, what schools their kids go to. I think of how the zoning goes. And they just did a live Q&A. He asked the questions. He had one of their administrators there to help answer the questions. And it was just a Facebook Live, broadcast. Very powerful to be able to interact. So again, engagement is number 1. Video is number 2. Okay, number 3, and I'm going to call this, I'm going to call it less reminders. And when I talk about this, I'm talking about posts that don't engage people. If you're using Facebook as just a way to remind people, hey, don't forget that we don't have school, or one strategy again that we have used is we have been every Sunday night we say, hey, check out all the activities happening for our school this week. They're all on the website, okay? So they can get them there, but we're reminding them on Facebook. Those posts hardly reach any people. They don't drive any engagement. Now that post is going to hurt all of our content. We're going to stop doing that. So if you look at your posts and you have things that are not driving engagement, don't post those things anymore, okay? Facebook is not just don't forget and remember to do this and don't forget to pack your lunch for tomorrow's field trip. And Facebook is a place to celebrate your school and connect your community. That's our mission at Social School for EDU, for our schools we partner with, and for you to help you do the same. We want to celebrate your students. We want to connect your community. Of course, we want people to show up to a fundraiser or an upcoming musical. There's going to be things that you are going to want to post. You're going to want to post them in interesting, creative, engaging ways. But the standard reminders are not going to get shared. Now, reminders that will get shared or announcements, no school today, okay? Really good if you have a fun video, like I said, or got to have a graphic. That's flashing news. That's breaking news. People are going to share that. Every month at my daughter's school, we have a 2-hour delay on a Monday. Moms need that reminder on Sunday morning that, hey, remember, tomorrow's 2 hours late. That post gets shared like crazy. If it's just an upcoming, a couple weeks away, we got a day off of school or something like that, it's not going to be shared a lot. So you need to really take a look at less reminders and less posts that don't drive engagement, or it is going to hurt you. It's not just going to be bad for that post. Facebook is telling us that now that is actually going to hurt your entire reach for all of your content, and that we don't want. Number 4 is, I'm going to say it's see first, and then it's also training your community. Oh boy, there we go. Sorry. Again, I was not a teacher. So there's an option when people follow your page that you can see this content first. That's very important so that they don't miss things. You're basically telling Facebook, I want to see posts from this page first in my newsfeed. And when they select that, then they're going to see your content, which is very, very important. But you're going to have to educate your community in how to do that. I will be putting together a short video that will be generic in nature that you will be able to post on your own page if you want to. It's going to be a little like screen walkthrough that says, hey, thanks for following our school. Do you know that Facebook's making some changes and we want to make sure you never miss an update from our school? Simply go to your page, click this, I'll walk them through it. It'll be a short video. You can certainly do it yourself. And I really recommend video because, again, video is more engaging. People will, showing them how to do it instead of just telling them is really powerful too. So that is all on training your community. Also training your community is just that, hey, the more you like and share and comment, the more you're going to see our content, and the more other people from around the community and beyond are going to see our content. So it's really important not only to tell those stories on your Facebook page, but to tell them off of your Facebook page. Talking to your staff about these changes that are happening with Facebook are very important. Talking with your parents, your PTO. Anytime you've got a room full of people that have come in for a class play or a program or concert or musical, you want to be talking about social media and that their interaction matters, because there's some training that goes with that. So hopefully that makes sense. So the 4 things we've covered so far are engagement, more video, less reminders or posts that don't matter, seeing your posts first and training your audience to know how to interact with your page. And the final one is monitor and measure. I think that is the most important one, and it's the biggest spot where schools are lacking. They are not taking serious looking at their analytics and making adjustments while they go. Because again, Facebook changes all the time. Learning what's going to perform well, what people are going to interact with and what people aren't going to interact with is really important. And so monitoring your results, we monitor every single week. We're old school. We use an Excel spreadsheet. Facebook Insights has a lot of powerful data, but if you don't record some of that data as you go, you lose it. For example, engagement is a number that's really easy to grab off of your overview on the bottom there, where you can stack up against other schools, but you lose that engagement number if you don't write it down. So every Monday, the team at Social School for EDU, for all the schools we manage for and we coach, we actually do the measurements on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. And then every quarter, we actually pull a report card like this that tracks, okay, where are Facebook fans? How are we growing? How many thousands of people are we reaching each week? It's really hard to do backwards. I would never be a good weather person. I just want to point out that this is really, we were reaching about 12,000 a week. Look at that big drop. That is something changed in Facebook's algorithm that impacted that. Now we're seeing a little bit back uptick. But tracking things like this, we also track the top 5 Facebook posts in the past 3 months. So they had a huge one where a citizen sends $100 to principal to help student lunch accounts. Like, that was a powerful story. That could have gone unnoticed, but they decided to post that out. It reached over 14,000 people on a page of only 2,300 fans, okay? Another post was on a Wausau teacher completes professional learning teacher academies. So, your teachers, Eagle Pride Market for those in need. They set up an area where kids were in need. That reached a whole bunch of people. Graphics through grant money on a girls' locker room wall. Those have been really powerful posts. Some of you even maybe out there have redone the steps in your school and, talking about positive, you are kind, you are powerful, all these positive mantras. A YouTube link, which certainly doesn't do as well as a straight up link right in Facebook, but that's key. But monitoring and measuring is so, so important. And again, it's something that a lot of schools miss because you're busy, and I get it. We do a lot of things at Social School for EDU. One of them is a coaching program where we actually do the monitoring and measuring for you. This is really valuable information, not only for you to learn from, but to give to your school board, to give to your staff, to say, hey, this matters. Our social media posts are reaching a lot of people. We're telling our story. We're building that trust and that transparency. It's so, so important. So I hope these 5 tips help you. We are certainly going to continue to dive in and learn. These Facebook changes have not officially been implemented yet. They made the announcement yesterday, and Michael Stelzner said, hey, February 11th, you're going to remember this day, 2018, January 11th, 2018, you're going to remember when this bomb dropped. You can imagine there's a lot of businesses that are trying to drive sales and, all of this stuff. We're just trying to drive authentic engagement of celebrating our schools. I believe that this is going to be a great thing for our schools. I believe that it is manageable. We are going to be able to, kind of adjust a little bit and still get our stories heard. I am confident of that. And I just welcome you to always follow our content at Social School for EDU. We always break down the tips, the tricks, the strategies that are going to help you succeed. That's what we're here for. That's my mission. I get fired up. We celebrate about 100,000 students every day with the 51 districts we serve right now across the country. We're obviously going to grow that in 2018. But what we learn, we then bring back to you, and we bring it back to you in blogs and webinars and, Facebook Lives like this. I do a bi-weekly newsletter that shares out tips and tricks, apps that are really helpful and things like that. And so I just invite you to make sure you're tuning into that. If you know somebody that does social media for their school, if you can share this video with them, and then also encourage them to sign up for my newsletter, that is the best way to stay engaged. Thank you. Thank you for what you do for our schools. It matters. These stories, these moments, this connection that we are creating with our communities is very, very valuable. We are teaching our kids that social media can be positive, that we can use it to really make a difference. I'm so excited about that. But it doesn't mean that it's not challenging along the way. So with all of that, please, again, introduce where you're calling from or tuning in from in the comments. And if you have additional questions that came up because of something I said, I didn't explain it right, I'll be monitoring the comments today, and I promise to get an answer back to you. So thank you guys so much. Stay tuned, and we'll talk to you next week. Bye-bye.